The old alliances are dead.
Gondor will answer.
Gondor. Where was Gondor when the Westfold fell? Where was Gondor when our enemies closed in around us? Where was Gondor? And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies.
The following contains offensive language and spoilers. Listener discretion is advised. Yub nub. Dun dun dun. Okay.
So I can throw that back on about what you keep going with that. Oh man. Okay. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies, Nerds New Bully. I'm host Leroy, aka Where Were You When Rohan Fell? With my co-host.
Oh shit. Yeah. This is
Yeah.
Eli, aka the Rancor Mosh Pit.
There you go. That sounds dangerous, but yeah. I wanted Eli
Or awesome.
or also one or the other if you live through it. Yeah, what was that guy's name? I don't remember the guy's name. I just know I heard about it, but
The Bernard something. The guy, the actor, or King Theoden from
Theoden,
Lord of the Rings. The guy who played King Theoden passed away this weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got. I don't know him from anything. I think it was in Titanic. That's about it, because I think Gomer told me. But
Yeah, I know he's been in other stuff, but we know him as King Theoden from Lord of the Rings. Deliver one of the best speeches ever in cinema history in
Right.
Return of the King and shit. Like, yeah.
So yeah, rest in peace. Sorry I didn't know your name. Because I just thought about it when we started doing it. So yeah. Welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. Like I said, the reason we didn't record yesterday because Eli was shredding. I'm completely messing it up. Am I?
Sure, that would, yeah, I guess you could say, or you know,
Is there a word thrashing? What were you doing?
thrashing, grinding, yeah,
Grinding.
blasting, yeah,
Feminist
or just
porno?
rocking and rolling, you know.
Okay.
Bernard Hill, that's the guy's name.
Really?
Good
I thought he
journey,
had more
Bernard
of a
Hill.
British name than that. That's just kind of normal. Like
Bernard Nottingham or something.
yeah, something like that. Sir
Sir Benedict.
Right, Benedict. Yeah, something like that, you know. But anyway, yeah. So rest in peace to him. But like I said, we didn't get a chance to record yesterday because Eli was thrashing, shredding, and grinding, and all this. I don't know the terminology. I just have in my head canon what Eli was doing yesterday.
Yeah,
We recorded yesterday. We don't know.
Yeah, my band played a show. Finally, we haven't been that busy since ever since COVID. COVID kind of like threw our music scene in a loop, and we haven't been as busy as we used to be. So, but we played a show finally, our first show in like 2 years, and yeah, it was fun. It was just cool to hang out with folks again and get up on stage. And it was hot as fuck. Though. I was sweaty. I came up drenched and shit.
We're heading to the summertime.
Yeah. So it was nice and stuffy in that room, but no, it was cool. It was cool to hang out with folks again, get up on stage again, and rock out again. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, reason we recorded a little bit late because Eli was also watching. And I'm surprised he was doing it and I wasn't doing it. He was watching the NBA playoffs. because your team is in there.
Well, I guess, yeah, I'm not, me, I don't follow basketball really at all, but the Minnesota Timberwolves are in the playoffs here.
You really should follow them. I'm gonna tell you why you should follow them, because the Minnesota Timberwolves are highly favored in this series.
Yeah,
and they're saying whoever wins this series between them and the Nuggets is probably going to win it all this year.
Yeah, because they said, well, yeah, my nephews are upstairs watching it, and they're huge into basketball, and my brother too. Fat T loves this shit, and he's been talking about it. And I'm just saying, it's nice to have a Minnesota team that's doing good.
Right, but I'm saying your team is really good. That's what I'm saying. Like
and
your guy.
Denver won last year, I guess. That's their talent.
They won the whole thing. Yeah, they didn't sweep LeBron, but they got one. Here's the thing: what they're saying is that the guy that's on your team right now, Anthony Edwards, nicknamed Ant-Man, they're saying he may be the next LeBron James. That's how good your team is right now.
That's what they're saying. That's what.
But this series is kind of like his proving ground. Like you have the hype. Let's see if you can do it. That's why everybody's watching the series right now. So
I mean, I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, holy shit! It's right now. It's 90-70. I'm like 90. I'm used to fucking like hockey games.
Yeah,
you know, like 1-0 final score.
Yeah. Oh no, not NBA games. Not
no,
NBA
it was
games.
like 150 to fucking 104. Like what the fuck, man?
Hi,
like, I go take a piss and I come back and like 20 more fucking points in the
Yeah, oh yeah, the NBA isn't like that. The NBA runs the score up as fast as they can.
Yeah, like, holy shit.
Yeah, but that's what we got going on right now. So honestly, I'm rooting for the Timberwolves. I would want to see the Timberwolves in the finals. They have a team strong to go. Even last year when they got beat, I like this is a good team right here if they can put it together, and it looks like they're putting it together. So yeah.
Yeah, and I like their logo. I just might get me a Timberwolves hat, you know, and so I can pose. You know?
Looks know nothing. We're just gonna talk sports all day because that's what people tune in to hear. That's what they want to hear. Nah, you don't want to hear that. You want to hear the next time we're gonna talk about. Because the next time we're gonna talk about is about the Kanye Drake beef.
Kanye.
Now, did I say Kanye?
Is it Kanye?
Who's in this beef? I forgot.
Kanye or Kendrick?
No, Kendrick. I'm sorry, I missed the beef up. I'm just passing Eli. Eli's gonna talk about it because I'm already talking about it.
I don't know what the fuck. I haven't been following this either.
Okay, so the reason we're gonna talk about it is because the reason I'm talking about it right now is because I want to make an announcement. I'm not talking about it anymore. I'm done. Eli, you have no idea what these guys have been getting into. These two really hate each other. I didn't know how much they hated each other this much because it seemed like this entire last week they can pretty much drop a song almost damn near every hour. I'm trying to go to work in the morning. I'm trying to get ready for work. They're dropping more hours. Oh, you said you hate me? Well, fuck you. Well, you said fuck me? Well, fuck you. They keep making more songs. They're longer and longer. 6 minutes, 10 minutes, 8 minutes. Like, I just want to go to sleep, man. Stop dropping songs. I just want to go to sleep. And each song gets like more scathing, more insulting, more disrespectful. They're just like basically throwing each other on the bus and like saying like shit that could really incriminate the other person. Like I can hear the FBI listening to their mixtape right now. This is all songs right now. Just listen like, man, this is some good music. This is catchy. Okay, when are we gonna break in the house and raid them right now for all the shit they're saying right now? So I'm imagining that's what's about to happen right now. So here's the Eli. Do you want? Can I break this beef down for you people that don't follow rap beef?
Yeah, because I'm not.
Okay.
I haven't been following.
Okay, say you don't know these people because I don't know these people either. It's basically like on Facebook. If you happen to run across a post where you see two people arguing, and the more they comment, the worse the argument gets. Now, what are we going to do naturally for people that has nothing to do with us? We're going to read every post. We're going to watch the post. We're going to see how bad it gets.
Get the popcorn.
Get your popcorn. Oh, damn, you slept with a brother? What? Okay. Yeah, I'm into it. So that's what it says. We don't know these people, but they're basically airing out all of the dirty laundry in public in front of everybody, but it's to a catchy beat. So that's the thing. All those, like I said, some of the stuff they're saying is like really, really fucked up because like Kendrick is being accused of a wife beater. And Drake is being accused of a pedophile. Like the last song Kendrick made was like a 4-minute song calling Drake a pedophile. The hook was about him being a pedophile. He's dancing with his pedophile. And they played the song in the club.
Okay.
They played the song in the club. It's 4 minutes and they're chanting it. Everybody's chanting in the club. They make TikTok already has dance challenges to it about Drake being a pedophile. It's getting that bad. Like, okay, maybe we should I feel like I'm living in the Matrix at this point. Like, that's why I feel like at this point, okay, y'all have put out enough songs, man. Y'all put them songs. Like it's literally about an hour worth of music they put out in a week between the two of them. I'm like, at this point, that's enough. We're good. Eli, I wasn't joking in my post. I really am just going to listen to audiobooks the rest of the week. I am. I have Dune uploaded. I'm ready to go. So now, can we wrap this in the comic books?
Let's do it.
I'm gonna tie this in, okay? Because of all the bullshit that went on, like I said, people think this shit just started. No, this shit has been going on actually for like 13 years. Did any of them make comic book references? No, but Kendrick did call Drake Malibu's most wanted. That shit had me laughing when he said that.
Okay.
I'm the only person that remembers that movie, but yeah. But the comic book reference we're going to make is, boom, Leland Wayne. This is Leland Wayne, a.k.a. Metro Boomin. Now, for those who don't know who he is, obviously you don't listen to this podcast. Well, you probably do listen to the podcast. You don't know who he is. But anyway, he is the composer of the musical score of Spider-Man Across the Multiverse. Of Spider-Verse, whatever that movie was. That movie. He did the soundtrack of that. And did the score. And did everything. That's that guy.
Is he the one, is he the What's Up Danger guy?
No. That was part 1. He did part 2.
Oh, okay.
2 different composers. Anyway, so he's the guy that did part 2. He did the soundtrack of part 2. But the thing is, he really Dr. Doom this whole rap beef right here. Nobody's talking about it because that's how much of an evil genius he is. It's really his fault. He did everything. He's laying in the background. And Drake says some nasty shit about him also. So, but the thing is, he can't rap. So there's no way for him to diss Drake back. There's nothing he can do. So what he did was diabolical. Since he's like a music producer, what he did is put a free beat on the internet and told anybody,
shit.
Yes, here's what he did. Anybody that gives me the best Drake diss, I will give you a free beat. That's what he's doing right now. So it's trending. His that beat is trending on everything right now. It's trending. Every SoundCloud rapper on the planet right now is making a Drake diss. And they're all terrible. That's why they're just on SoundCloud.
You going for it, man? You gonna get them?
I thought about it, but it's getting so bad. I've heard a diss in Japanese. I've heard a diss in French. It's all
Swahili.
Over the world. Swahili. Everybody is dissing this guy at this point because that's how much this guy hates him so much. I'm like, this is some real evil genius Dr. Doom shit he's doing right now because he can't out rap him. So what he does is get the entire planet to out rap him. This is some like supervillain X-Men shit right here he's doing. So
it is like telling to what he thinks of Drake's MC skills. If he's just like, hey, anybody take down, hey, get anybody, just take Drake. Like, I ain't got time for this shit. Here, I'll take Drake down.
Yeah, so it's multiplied. It's like thousands of diss on the internet right now.
Just that gesture is pretty much, he owned them.
Just the fact I'm gonna get thousands of people to diss you. So yeah. So that's all I got. That's all I got. I didn't want to get too deep into it. I could go deep to it, but I'm not going to. Check out somebody else. Check out this DC Comics. They're not talking about this. They're not. Anyway, moving on past. Let's talk about something else. You know what? Let's talk about something that we're good at. Let's talk about Happy Star Wars Day. I think we're at that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, for those who don't know, obviously you don't follow this podcast because May the 4th is a holiday, national holiday, if you will. Star Wars Day. We always celebrate Star Wars Day. Matter of fact, I have extended the holiday. I know there's Cinco de Mayo, but screw Cinco de Mayo. That's Revenge of the 5th. And then May the 6th is Revenge of the 6th. Or maybe something. I may be screwing it up. It was something I used to have.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, Star Wars weekend. Stream everything. So here's what I did, Eli. I went to work. And in the break room, I know how to AirPlay hack into the break room TV. So I streamed the entire Star Wars marathon all day. Yeah. And that's it. And I hid the remote. So nobody can change the remote. So while I'm sitting there watching Star Wars, like all I see is just people walking to the break room like, oh, Star Wars. And then they leave. You're like, fuck you. I'm going to watch this all day. I don't care.
One time when my brother was in jail, or no, not my brother, somebody else. Sorry. Yeah. I knew somebody who was, and I guess there was they had the TV on in the rec room or whatever.
Yeah.
And a Star Wars movie was on. Mm-hmm. And somebody came out, what's this, iRobot?
It's funny, like I don't even get offended when I hear stuff like that. It's just like, oh well, you're not into it. I don't care. I'm gonna make you get into it. You're gonna watch it today because here's the thing. I'm so clever with this because nobody expects me doing it. But I've actually put a code on the TV when I AirPlayed it. So even if you could stop it, you can't stop unless you have my TV. I mean, unless you have my phone to unlock it. Matter of fact, I even went so far. I did that at a work training session one time where they were doing like a PowerPoint, and I saw the TV had AirPlay. So on my phone, I AirPlayed Batman v Superman for like 5 seconds, and the presentation like, what's going on? What is this?
Martha.
I just want to see if I could do it. That's all. I did it. So, yeah. Anyway, that's it. I'm pretty sure he's listening to it right now. But anyway, you saw a TV show, Eli. Now, here's the thing. We're finally going to do the show we meant to do last week, but we didn't do it because I completely screwed up the schedule. And so we made up a show last week, but now we can actually do the show. So, Eli, give it to us.
Yeah.
You saw a thing.
Yeah, The Bad Batch, the Star Wars tie-in show, The Bad Batch, the Clone Wars spin-off series. The series finale was this week.
Okay.
Yes, series finale. So that is it. The Bad Batch is all done. And it was a fun ride. Breezy 3 seasons. It followed Clone Force 99 experimental clone troopers who had enhanced abilities.
Mm-hmm.
They all had different, one was a really good sniper named Crosshair. One was like the Donatello tech wizard named Tech. There was a really big, strong guy named Wrecker, like the Hulk strength, or like, he had superhuman strength. And then there was Hunter, who was like, had precognitive, like psychic abilities that made him a good tracker. And then there was Omega, the experimental female clone, who happened to have force abilities. And the Empire was after her because this ties into why, to the Rise of Skywalker shit.
Mm-hmm.
Palpatine was trying to clone himself. And he needed like DNA with force sensitive abilities. So he was after force sensitive kids, force sensitive children throughout the galaxy. And Omega was one of them. They were and this last season, she was captured, So these last few episodes was about the clones, the Bad Batch, going to rescue her. And this final episode, they did. They break into the facility, rescue everybody. Big old battle ensues, and in great, the best Star Wars fashion. Big giant climactic battle, a war in the stars, if you will, and it ended. And everyone, it ended on a very happy note, which I was very surprised because this is the Clone Wars. This takes place right after Order 66. So right after Revenge of the Sith. The clone troopers are being phased out and they're bringing in the regular stormtroopers are coming in. So all the clones are like, there's no use for them anymore.
Gotcha. So in like the Disney Star Wars mythos, has this ever been addressed? How they went from the clones to,
not in Disney. They addressed it in the comics and stuff. I know Jason Aaron had a run in his Star Wars run where he's talking about how the Empire was recruiting stormtroopers all over the galaxy and stuff like that. But they never really addressed it in the movies. But they do go into that on the Clone Wars, and they really go into it on this show, The Bad Batch, about just like the clones questioning their existence, why they're there. They were only bred for one reason, and that was to be soldiers. And once the war is over, they're struggling with that. So that was like another theme to this show. This whole series was the Bad Batch trying to figure out a new purpose in life. The war's over. And so they became criminals. They became smugglers. They started doing like dirt, underground criminal shit, kind of became outlaws. They were wanted they were basically considered deserters by the Empire. So they went underground. They went into hiding and, went out to the outer ring and did some crime shit. And, but one of the story arcs was Crosshair. He was the only one who stayed with the Empire. Crosshair was the sniper. So he stayed with the Empire, and they took that as a betrayal. But Crosshair was still trying to be a soldier. And throughout the series, he saw how the Empire was viewing the clones as expendable, and they, basically using them and throwing them away. So this last season, he basically it was like a redemption arc. He becomes, cool with the Bad Batch again, his brothers again. He rescues Omega. He becomes cool with the crew again. So that was actually touching. And again, what was surprising about all this having a happy ending is Tech died last season. He died the last season of finale of last year. Mm-hmm. So I thought, they're clones. The Clone Wars ending. I thought they were all going to die, or at least a couple of them were going to die. But surprisingly, everybody lived, and I was like cool with that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah, I thought for sure Wrecker almost bought it at one point. It was in the big battle. But they all like they blew up the cloning facility. And the Zillo Beast made a return. The Zillo Beast is like a giant kaiju monster that was on the Clone Wars, a Clone Wars arc. So that was cool to see that again. But no, they blow up the cloning facility, rescue everybody, and make out of the, make a getaway. And then the epilogue, it jumps, there's a time jump. And we see Omega as an adult now, and the clones are all older. Bad Batch, they're all older. They're old, they're old now. And Omega's talking about how the rebellion needs pilots. And then she takes off to go be a rebel pilot.
But do we know how much time has passed?
I'm thinking if she was a child right after Order 66, I'm thinking she was an adult around when Rebels was happening, right before A New Hope.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking, And the last scene is just her saying goodbye to her brothers and jumping in a ship to go join the rebellion. And that's where it ends. And I was like, wow, that was actually kind of cool. And it was like an upbeat, happy kind of ending. And yeah, it was nice because I thought they were going to go all emo and bum us out and shit. And they're all going to die and they were tragic ending. But no, there was some hope, Okay. So that was kind of cool.
Okay, so they're asking about the rule of no Star Wars talk. Okay, so we bend the rules sometimes. Here's the thing: no Star Wars movie talk. Everything else is okay. Everything else okay. long as we navigate around that, we're okay. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's pretty much how I watched. As far as May the 4th, I all I did was watch Empire Dreams.
Okay.
That documentary on the making of the original trilogy. So that was really interesting. So that's it just talks about how all the original trilogy was made, the behind the scenes of the original trilogy. So I like I said, it was a busy weekend for me. I had to play a show and all that, so I didn't get a chance to marathon the movies like I usually do. But I watch the movies all the time anyway. So
yeah, you don't need a special day for that.
And I watched one episode of that Tales of the Empire, and yeah, it's about they were going into what's her name, Morgan, that she's on Ahsoka, the witch Night Sister chick from.
Oh, I know you're talking about. Yeah, Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
niece or some shit. Yeah,
it's like her when she was young and getting mad and angry at the droids. Obviously the droids came during the Clone Wars and destroyed her planet or whatever, and she became angry and hateful and decides to fight back and using her magic and stuff to do that. So that's like, basically how she becomes a villain, or the path she goes down. So I only watched one episode of that, and I didn't have time to, watch any of the rest of them, but I'll probably get around to it, this week sometime. But yeah, and I watched this because of the Zillo Beast being on the finale of Bad Batch. I went and watched the Zillo Beast episodes of the Clone Wars, and I noticed something: how the Zillo Beast, like I said, it's a giant monster, like a kaiju monster that the Jedi have to take out. And I was watching those. It's a two episode arc, and it really follows Godzilla and King Kong, like those storylines.
Mm-hmm.
So, during the Clone Wars, the Jedi and the clones are like, fighting the droid army, and they invented this new weapon. It's like an ultra EMP, and it's like they drop a bomb and it releases this gigantic, like almost like planet-wide EMP that wipes out all electronics. So they drop it on the droids and it just takes out the whole droid army in one blast. It just takes out their power. But it left a big giant crater in the planet, and that crater awakened the Zillo Beast. So that's basically like Godzilla, how atomic bombs awakened Godzilla. So it's just like that. So
now you said that was on the not the Tales episode, but the Clone Wars.
That was on the Clone Wars, like season 2 or 3 of the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And then so they have to fight this giant Zillo Beast monster, and it's like its hide is off, like lightsabers can't even penetrate it. So they have to gas it. They have to like basically gas him to put him to sleep, and then they bring him back to Coruscant, like King Kong, and then he awakens and goes on a rampage in Coruscant. So he's rampaging throughout the city like King Kong, and they end up gassing him again. And at the end of that episode, Palpatine is like, okay, let's take him to the cloning facility. We're going to clone this thing.
I mean, if he's that strong, so yeah.
Yeah. So we want to experiment on his armor so we can give the clone troopers stronger armor. But that, like I said, so that was that. He said, we're going to clone this thing. And then the season finale, The Bad Batch, they're breaking into the cloning facility and they find the Zillo Beast. So that's, it's all connected.
Nice. Okay. So overall, what do you give? Yeah, what do you give the score of the whole show? Like when it's
the whole show, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. Like I said, it's cool to see them. It was fun to watch them do the outlaw shit. I was less concerned with trying to tie it to the other movies. I don't give a shit about that. And I think that's my main beef with like the Star Wars storytelling, is trying to tie it into the Skywalker saga all the time. Right. Because basically only purpose of this was to make the rise of Skywalker matter, make why they were cloning Palpatine and how they cloned Palpatine. So, let's have the storyline about Omega and her being Force sensitive, and they want her DNA and all that shit so they can, make Rise of Skywalker matter, but I don't give a shit about Rise of Skywalker. Just give me ex-soldiers doing crime throughout the galaxy. Give me the Western, the space Western.
Firefly.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Like that's like give me the show the Book of Boba Fett was supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, that's what or the Mandalorian. Like everybody remembers the Mandalorian for Baby Yoda. Or Luke kicking ass. Like they don't give a shit about Mando, It's all about, what do people remember about the Mando show? Baby Yoda and Luke kicking ass.
Right.
They're trying to tie it should have been just space outlaw shit, like Cowboy Bebop, space cowboy shit, And that, going back to the Zillo Beast, you had kaiju monster shit in space, and it keeps the genre fresh. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, just you're taking the kaiju element and then you're adding it to Star Wars, and it was cool, And I think that's what they were like. After watching Empire of Dreams, George Lucas was doing that. He was taking all this lore and shit. He was
the stuff that he grew up with, stuff he liked, right?
Yeah, King Arthur, Flash Gordon, and then putting it into space. Yeah, samurai flicks and putting it into space, and that's what it was. It was like this space fantasy. Recognizable genres, but in space. And that's why it resonated with everybody. But nowadays, they're trying to, tie it all into this Skywalker lore, and it's
and the essence of what started Star Wars to begin with.
Yeah. Like, because they got the Mandalorian movie coming out, and I'm like, I don't give a shit at all. It's the Mandalorian and Baby Yoda movie, and like, I don't care.
It's just what did they left off? Season 3, season 4, whatever like that.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be season 4 in space. I mean, on the big screen, right?
And like, what's the purpose of that show? I don't care. Like, you blew up a spaceship. The
purpose is to make money.
Yeah, he can't lift the Darksaber, and then they break the Darksaber. Like, what's the purpose of the Baby Yoda Mando movie gonna be? Like, I don't care. He
leaves the Mandalorian, so he's just out there just by himself.
Yeah, he's gonna go help Ahsoka. Like, no, the Mandalorians are supposed to be like outlaw bounty hunter crime shit.
Right.
And that's what you could have had. You could have had a cool space weapon, like the Book of Boba Fett should have been like space gangster shit. But no, let's have Baby Yoda put the Rancor to sleep. It's like, it could just blending genres and keeping the story fresh instead of trying to tie it into this other lore. And that's what I'm getting tired of.
Right.
So, because
like,
that was
make a good standalone story on its own. Like, if you take out all this Luke Skywalker and toys, does the story stand on its own? That's the main thing.
Yeah. Because like the best, like what was cool about the Bad Batch is like I said, watching these ex-soldiers are trying to find a purpose in life, and they become criminals.
Right.
Because they still like believe in something. They still believe in what they were doing, and they saw the hypocrisy of the Empire, and they're like, no, we're not going to do that. That's not what we fought this war for. They saw fascism creeping in, and they're like, no, we're not going to be a part of that. So that's what made that show cool. But yeah, we had to go through the motions of cloning Palpatine because the Rise of Skywalker shit. Didn't care about that,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I think I think that's my main gripe with Star Wars is just trying to tie everything together. Just stick with the theme and and go down that route.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm excited about The Acolyte, because hopefully it's supposed to take place 100 years before Skywalker shit. So,
right. Even though it's the most downvoted Star Wars trailer on YouTube, but
yeah. But it looks dope, man. It just looks like fucking like samurai shit. It looks like Star Wars Samurai.
I'm waiting. I'm anticipating. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm gonna be like, okay, what do you got for me? I'm not going in with any expectations. I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna watch it.
I mean, you got fucking Trinity from the Matrix doing Jedi shit. You got like, so it looks like a Hong Kong martial arts wuxia fantasy shit,
right.
But in space. So
right.
just stick to that. Yeah, you know what I mean? We don't need to see like, baby Chewbacca or something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, just do your own thing. Like, these stories can stand on their own. The universe, that's the Star Wars universe, is this vast thing. Let this shit stand on its own. There's stories that you can tell and go in different directions and stuff. So that's what I hope to see. So,
and plus, lightsaber fights never get old. Just do that correctly. You got a show.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
Yeah. And that's
I've seen so many YouTube fan videos of them doing just wild ass shit with lightsabers. I'm like, why the fuck don't Disney hire these guys?
Yeah, there's your stunt team, man.
Yeah, right there, just some asshole on YouTube. That's it. So
yeah, man. I mean, because that was my thing with Tales from the Empire. I'm like, oh, it's this Morgan. Oh, they're doing Ahsoka. They're tying this to Ahsoka. I was like, I didn't care. Right away, I didn't care. It's like, did I need a Morgan show? Not really. I'll probably watch it, but yeah, I was like, I wasn't excited. So that's pretty much the reason why I didn't watch the rest of it. I was like, oh, they're gonna go her, So okay. I don't know. And rant. I'm done ranting. Yeah.
Okay.
See, this is why we don't talk about Star Wars.
Why we don't talk about Star Wars. First rule of comic book bullies: don't talk about Star Wars.
I was just supposed to review the Bad Batch. Here I am bitching about shit.
I was waiting for. I was like, wait for it. All right.
You gotta have a gong sound or something.
Wrap it up, B. Anyway, okay. Now I watched the show. I watched this week. Nothing exciting. Nothing as exciting as what Eli saw. But since we got time, I'm gonna go ahead and review it. It was a nice, fun, easy breezy show. What did I watch? Oh, not that. My fault. Knuckles. Yes, I watched Knuckles. Here's the thing. It was on Paramount Plus. It was 6 episodes. I got Paramount Plus to watch Halo. Halo ended. And I was like, well, I got another week left and I got this show. Let me just watch this before it completely runs out. So I just, get my money's worth. So since I still had some Paramount Plus, when Paramount Plus is gone, that subscription runs out for this month, I'm done. I'm out. So I'm going to watch this shit right now. So this is Knuckles. It's a direct continuation of the Sonic movies. It's a spinoff of that show. I mean, of those movies, because Knuckles was the villain of part 2, but then he switched. He was the Winter Soldier, basically. So yeah. So they gave him his own show. And this is Knuckles going through his own 6-part miniseries. But however, I want to say this. This show was really fun. It was really entertaining, really enjoyable. I really enjoyed myself watching this show. However, going into this show, you do have to understand this is a bait and switch.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
not really a Knuckles show. It is a Wade Whipple show. Okay.
Damn, you're getting deep now.
Into the lore, the Sonic lore.
The
Let me explain.
Sonic lore, the Sonic mythology.
Right. Okay, so let me explain Wade Whipple. Wade Whipple was a comic relief sidekick in the other two Sonic movies. He really didn't matter. He was just a guy that was there. And honestly, I forgot he was in those movies. So find out he's the main character of this movie. Like, why is he the main guy? But when you watch the show, you get it. Basically, he's a side character, and Knuckles is like his guy, to go from side character energy to main character energy. He's like, train me how to be a badass like you. And that's what the show is. So it's him and Knuckles on a road trip going through that. And that's the show. And the thing is, so as blank slate as I just told you what the show is, that's what makes the show fun, because that means that the show can do anything it wants to do. Like one episode is a rock opera. One episode they go to his mom's house, and like Knuckles has to team up with the grandma to fight off ninjas and shit, like for no reason whatsoever. I'm like, okay, it's just a fun show. The end, I'm not gonna. Now I feel like I'm
You're
not gonna spoil. I'm not gonna spoil
Knuckles.
the ending, the mythology of this. But it's a fun show. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. But it's fun. Kid Cudi shows up for no reason. He's one of the bad guys of the show. I'm like, why is he here? But it's just funny. But yeah, like the show, even though it's a live action cartoon, even though it's set in the real world, it's so much cartoony shit in here. It's like it's not real. It just do whatever the fuck they want to. I like it that they're having fun with it, and they're just doing whatever the hell they want to do with the show. That's it. And no, you don't have. Does this affect the Sonic cinematic universe? No, you can just watch this. It's just like,
That's funny.
Yeah, it's like whatever. Just watch it. It's fun, So that's one thing about it. Just know when you're going into the show, it's a Wade Whipple show. And I was wondering, and I was asking people about what did your kids think about this show, and most kids kind of got bored of it because they were like they want to see Knuckles, not Wade Whipple, because there are episodes where Knuckles just disappears, because they got to save on money, budget, monetary reasons, So some episodes, Idris Elba, who voices Knuckles, he's just on the phone. That's it, just talking to Wade Whipple. That's the show. So yeah. Overall, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I'm gonna give the show a 4 out of 5. It is a fun watch. The episode's like 30 minutes. Each episode is different. Like I said, one of the episodes is a rock opera, where they're like telling the story of Knuckles and Wade Whipple together, but it's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm like, okay, so yeah, so highly recommend it. Watch it. Just go in. Know it's fun. Completely for kids. Have fun.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's for kids. This is not for kids. Just letting you know. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't get a chance to watch the new X-Men episode either.
Don't worry, we're not gonna talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. So but there is another thing we got to talk about. There's something that just dropped today, Eli. We have to address.
Okay.
Trying to think. Where is it? Oh, well, yeah, here we go. Okay, so did you see that they finally dropped the new Superman? Thing?
I saw the picture. Yeah.
That's the picture. Okay, so
and some of the memes.
Yeah, the memes all over the place. I haven't seen much of the memes like that, but yes, this is an official picture, official release photo of what David Corenswet, I think the guy's name is.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. That's the name. This is what he looks like in the picture. So this is the Superman suit they're going to be wearing in the Superman movie coming out. There's some shit going on in the background. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's a Brainiac or a meteor or what. I don't know what the fuck going on with that. We'll watch the movie. We'll find out. But here's the big debate, Eli, what people worrying about. Is he going to have trunks? Trunks or no trunks? Trunks or no trunks? James Gunn won't answer the question. So here's the thing. This is what we're going to do, Eli. We're going to zoom into the crotch.
Oh,
we're going to answer the question.
Let's do this shit. Man.
Let's do this.
Let me get my glasses.
Exactly. Get your popcorn,
My magnifying glass.
You're welcome, ladies. We got to get our ladies viewership up, enhance. So here we go. Ooh.
Oh,
special
wow,
effects,
man.
Eli. Special effects.
Damn.
And guess what? He has the trunks.
I see some drawers.
Yeah, we see it. We see it. Oh yeah, give it to me, baby. Give it to me. We have trunks. It's there. We have the trunks. So yes, we haven't had trunks in like since the New 52. New 52 said no trunks. James Gunn said trunks are back. So yeah, there you go. That was the biggest question we had right there. So how's the dude look as Superman? He looks like Superman. He looks like
but the real question is boy shorts, briefs, thong.
See, we were done, Eli. We were done. You pulled us back in. We didn't go that far. That is a good question. That is a good question. Now, I guess James Gunn gonna have to let us know about that.
Boxers? Are they
boxers or briefs? You know. But yeah, like I said, David Corenswet has been in the gym. People saying he ain't gonna be. Hey, like I said, we gotta get the female viewership up, Eli. But that's him in the gym. You know.
That's him.
That's him. Yeah.
Oh damn! I thought that was Cavill for a second.
That's what everybody thinks. Everybody say, "Oh, that's bootless Kmart Cavill." No, that's not. You know, Value Mart Cavill. No, that's him. That's Corenswet. So he's been in the gym. He's been getting it in. You know. So, like I said, I mean, honestly, looking at this picture, like what kind of Superman is look like? To me, people say look like Cavill. He looks like every Superman actor ever combined in one dude. That's what he looks like. Like if you were like AI that shit.
He looks like Superman. He looks
like Superman.
He looks like Superman.
What do you want? What do you want?
Yeah, way more than like fucking
white dude is playing Superman. What are you pissed about?
Yeah, way more than all the digital Supermans in the Flash. You know,
right?
Nick Cage Superman
and Christopher Reeves and all shit like that. Yeah,
yeah.
And so that's my thing. Like I said, I don't know. I'm excited for it. This is my most excited. This movie I'm most excited for next year than any other movie. So I don't give a fuck what Marvel does on their side. If they fuck up Blade and cancel it again, you know, Captain Falcon with Harrison Ford as the Hulk or some shit, you know, do what the fuck you want. I don't care. I got Superman. I'm good. So let's get the show on the road. That being said, can we move on to the next part of the podcast?
Sure.
Okay, like I said, this comic book, we're talking about comic books. We're going to talk about it because this week, not only was it Star Wars Day, it was also Free Comic Book Day, or as we like to call it, FBCD Day. No,
I suppose. Day. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't say day. It's like saying ATM machine or
FCBD.
PIN number. Free
Yeah.
Comic Book Day. Yeah.
Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah. So you can't say PIN number or shit like that. But anyway, all right. So you're up here like I said, I had to work on Free Comics Day. Free Comics Day was May the 4th. Why are they putting Free Comic Day on May the 4th? I don't know why they did that, but they did that. I had to work, couldn't go there. So Eli, give it to me. What dropped? What dropped?
Oh well, yeah, I got a pile here. My main thing that I was really looking forward to was the Energon Universe special.
Mm-hmm.
As you have known, for those who have been listening, I have been really into this the Transformers and G.I. Joe crossover, what they are calling the Energon universe over at Image. Daniel Warren Johnson killing it on the Transformers book. Joshua Williamson writing Duke and Cobra Commander, which both Duke ended. I think Cobra Commander's got one more issue. And then we're going to go into Destro and I believe Lady J, maybe? Or somebody else.
Okay.
There's some more G.I. Joe books coming out. And then of course Void Rivals, that's the only one I haven't read until I read this free comic book. So yeah, it's the Energon Universe special. It's got 3 like short 10-page stories in it. One being like the prequel to the Transformers comic. So this was written by Daniel Warren Johnson. It's drawn by Ryan Otley. And it shows how Megatron lost his arm, how they were battling on the Ark before it crash landed on Earth, and how Starscream, spoilers, Starscream shot Megatron.
So he's always been a bitch. Okay.
Yeah, Starscream shot after Optimus Prime fucked up Megatron, chopped off his arm, and like threw him out, like trying to throw him out the airlock. You know, Megatron's trying to hold on with one arm because he's only got one arm, and he's like, "Help me, Starscream!" And then Starscream just straight up shoots him in the face, and then he goes tumbling out into space and lands on Earth for millions of years. And then Cobra La, what's his name? Globulus, the leader of Cobra La, which ties into the Cobra Commander book and the G.I. Joe side of things. They find Megatron's remains. and are basically using his energy for some stuff, for shit. And then this shows him awakening. It shows Megatron awakening in the modern time, probably during the current events going on in the Transformers comic right now. And he's like, I'm gonna go get that Starscream, that bastard. And that's where it ends. It was just a quick 10-page story, like a prequel to the books, the whole the awesome comic book series that's going on right now. So that's what I was stoked for. And you know what? This might be my book of the week. These 10 pages.
The free comic book day that you got for free is this
Yeah.
book of the week.
The 10
I
page.
don't know if that says something about free comic day or the books that you read.
Yeah. Just that 10-page story was dope. Then there's a Void Rival story that I wasn't too familiar with. I don't know who these aliens are, but they do run into Hot Rod. One of the Autobots is in it. Not sure what's going on. And then we go into this G.I. Joe comic. What is this going to be? But it's basically, it's going to be the new G.I. Joe book. And they're recruiting Baroness. I don't know how to think about that. I don't know about...
G.I. Joe recruiting Baroness.
Yeah, about good Baroness. I don't know if I like
Maybe she's not good. Maybe she's a double agent. I'm just saying.
Yeah, so basically, they're all trying to recruit Baroness. Duke is trying to get her because in the Duke book, he ran into Baroness in that book, and they kind of found some common ground, and so he's trying to recruit her for G.I. Joe, but then Hawk is also got, basically it's implying that Hawk is forming two teams. So Hawk is playing folk, looks like. But at the end, it shows Baroness in a G.I. Joe outfit. She looks like she's cosplaying as the Falcon. She's got the red, white, and blue stars and shit. And I'm like, this is the Baroness.
It's not gonna last. There's gonna be a swerve. There's gonna be a turn somewhere.
Yeah, give me that black fucking bodysuit. That it's Baroness,
Right.
But anyways, that was that story. A little 10-page, story of that. But
I've always said Baroness is the reason I love for toxic women to this day.
Or glasses.
and glass, toxic women and glasses, because you'd be surprised how many toxic women wear glasses. So there you go. That's fellas, if you don't know why you're attracted to that, now you know.
Yeah. So that was my what I was really looking forward to. That was really cool. You had DC drop their Absolute Power special, which previews it's got some stuff about the House of Brainiac, and then this Absolute Power event that's coming up. Looks like Waller is gonna be doing some shit.
Who did they say who's writing it, or at least who wrote this book?
This Mark Waid. Mark Waid on the Absolute Power book. And then, of course, some stuff with Failsafe. Is that just a trade? I don't know. But then, yeah, it goes into the House of Brainiac, which is going on. Of course, Marvel dropped the Blood Hunt special, previewing Blood Hunt,
which we will get into.
We will review in that later on.
Did it have anything to do with what we're talking about, or is it completely different pages?
It looks like it's it does look like it's different. I didn't actually read the Blood Hunt special. I just read the regular issue, but it shows some Spider-Man stuff and Daredevil stuff. I do see an ad for Helverine #1.
Didn't they already do that?
Is that what it is?
Isn't it Ghost Rider, Wolverine?
And Wolverine and Benjamin Percy is writing it?
Yeah, didn't they already do that?
No,
you know what? That was that crossover, but you saying they're getting a book now.
Yeah, this is Helverine, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
#1. We're also seeing this of course Deadpool stuff going on. And then they're so what's going on with the X-Men? After the fall of X. From the ashes, we have X-Men. Is that Ryan Steg? Oh, wow. Ryan Stegman is going to be drawing the X-Men.
Pulling the heavy hitters out. Okay.
Jed McKay, is that who's writing it? And then the exception.
Jed McKay is doing X-Men also? So you can be doing Avengers and X-Men? Okay.
And then Al Ewing's doing Exceptional X-Men.
Yeah.
Gail Simone's writing the Uncanny X-Men.
Okay.
And then it shows Phoenix, X-Factor, Storm, Nyx,
I think
X-Force.
NYX, but yeah.
NYX. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I don't know shit. X-Force, and then Wolverine.
Okay. Does it say which one Weezy Simonson doing?
Who?
Louise Simonson.
No.
She might not be writing the book. I might have just made that shit up. I don't know.
No, I don't. No, it doesn't say.
Okay.
So there's that, and then of course like the Blood Hunt crossover shit in their checklist doesn't look too bad. I'm probably not going to read all these, but
just me the main ones. That's
I'll
all.
probably just read the main book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was that. Oh yeah, the Ultimate Spider-Man stuff. The Ultimate Peter. So Zeb Wells. So the new team on the Amazing Spider-Man target Peter Parker, Zeb Wells, and Ryan Stegman.
Okay.
So, and this art looks pretty dope.
Wait.
It's Ryan Stegman.
So Zeb Wells still there. Okay.
Zeb Wells is still there, but it's
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, but it looks like it's some new target Peter Parker shit. I don't know.
Right. So it's gonna be awesome art with the same bullshit Paul we've been dealing with. So.
Fucking Mary Jane still banging some other dude with 5 kids or whatever.
Right. with a man bun and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. What is this? There's some Avengers shit going on. Or is that the same story? Yeah. Forgotten Marvels. Yeah. And then a new Venom book. Venom War with Al Ewing and Iban Coelho.
Okay.
So Al Ewing's going to be writing a Venom arc. Venom.
Here's the thing. I know nothing about Venom, but they seem to be like, they're damn near as deep as the X-Men. Like, you know how the X-Men had like 10, 20 books?
Well,
Venom
Donny Cates, yeah. After the whole Donny Cates thing with Null and Dylan and all the different symbiotes now, like...
Like, why? Why do you need all this? Who's reading this? I don't know anybody reading this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I fell off after Donny Cates, but Al Ewing writing Venom, yeah. I might give that a chance.
Al Ewing writing Venom, cool. Al Ewing writing a Venom verse, I don't know. That's a little bit too much for me. So.
What's this? Oh, that's Spider-Punk. Okay. And then there was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle book. I was a little disappointed. I thought this was going to be a preview of the Jason Aaron thing, but it's not. It shows the Night Watcher, that vigilant
from the 07.
Yeah.
Raphael.
Raphael as that. Yeah, the metal iron turtle guy. Yeah, and then a Splinter. Then another one-off story called Splinter's Day Off.
I want them to do that story when Raphael turned into Shredder. I want them to do that story.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. And then there was a Star Wars book, Return to Echo Base. I did read this. Takes place. They get a beacon, survivors on Hoth after the battle. They go down to pick them up. They run into the Empire. Battles ensue. And then I love this last. I just got to mention this last. Maybe I'll take a picture of this. So they had a battle with the Empire going back to Echo Base, and they get chased out into the snow, and then they're hiding in a cave, and they're freezing. They got a fire going. They're like, "Yeah, I'm hungry. We wish we had some food." And then Chewbacca comes out with a Wampa arm. So they're in the same cave and Luke was in when he cut off the Wampa's arm in Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, it's on Hoth? Okay.
Yeah, on Hoth. So he comes back with the Wampa arm, and they, hey, how bad could it be? And that's it. So they're gonna eat a Wampa arm. So that was pretty cool. The Conan. So I felt, the new Conan. Jim Zub was writing Conan on what's it, Titans, Titan Comics. And I was reading that for a while, but then I fell off because I just can't afford all these comics every week,
Right.
But this free comic book Conan special looks dope, and I should probably jump back on Conan because it looks pretty dope. There was a Hellboy special, which was basically just the greatest hits. He sees a fortune teller and kind of goes through all the major events, comic book events, the Seed of Destruction, Conqueror Worm, all that shit. Yeah. Then there was this Popeye book that I grabbed.
Well, you know what? We were supposed to get that Popeye book.
Yeah.
Remember, we were supposed to review it. Did you read?
Oh, you're talking about Dick Tracy.
Oh, my fault. I got Dick Tracy. One of the old motherfuckers. I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, this is like a gritty reboot of Popeye.
Okay.
It's not that gritty. It is pretty like violent. He's like One Punch Man. But it's just you know, or Rashomon, if you will. They're trying to they're asking how did Popeye lose his eye, and it like everybody's got a different tale. You know, Olive
Hell,
says
I didn't know
was
he
like,
was missing an eye. Okay.
yeah, or why his eye is shut. You know,
Yeah.
you know, Olive says it was like a genie at sea. Bluto says it was a giant octopus. You know, Wimpy, the guy who eats the hamburgers, says it was like this harpy, and then this fucking this like sea hag comes along and says it was like this like Piccolo type of dude.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, very almost like it like Popeye, very cartoony, like that, you know, Popeye art, but what mixed with like manga style. So Popeye manga style almost. That's what it looks like.
Okay.
So yeah, that was like the big pile of stuff. There was the Archie stuff on the Archie horror stuff. Yeah. But that's about it. I mean, there was a lot of other books I didn't grab, but these are, you know, I did get a huge pile here. So, but yeah, it was cool. And then, you know, of course, like I said, free comic book day. Yes, you can get free comics from your store, but as in good gesture, it's always cool to buy something from your comic book store because these comics aren't free to the comic book store. They have to buy these comics. So to give them out for free. So it's more of a promotional thing. So my comic book store had a bunch of sales going on. I bought some more books and I bought a pretty dope Blade figure.
Nice.
So,
okay.
You know, taking advantage of those sales. So yeah, it was pretty cool. You know.
So okay. So free comic book day, FBCD 2024. There we go. I probably read them this week because normally when they drop them in the shops, then they'll be on digital sometime this week. So I'll check. What is that? DC Universe. I'll check it tomorrow. See what we have. So,
yeah.
All right. So all right. First book I'm going to do is Blood Hunt. That same book that Eli just talked about. So this is the big Marvel summer blockbuster crossover that's happening this year. So this is what's going on. Yeah, written by Jed McKay. I think this is the first time that they've given him a crossover, you know, to like really handle everything that's going on. Yeah, we'll see where we go. Let me see if I can get this going. Is that it? I don't think that's it. That's not it. Is that it? That's it. Okay. Yeah. So, like I said, and it's written by Jed McKay. Jed McKay is also writing Avengers and Moon Knight. So expect Moon Knight and Avengers to show up in here also.
And I guess I have not been reading that Moon Knight. Yeah. But I guess that's how they got the sun blocked out the sun from some shit that was happening in Moon Knight.
Well, because I think there's a Moon Knight like one-off, or better yet, a Moon Knight tie-in that came out this week.
Yeah,
but I'm not reading that shit.
I didn't read it, but they explained that somehow they blocked out the sun.
Yeah, so let's get into it. Let's talk about how they blocked out the sun. So they explain in this book also. So boom, let's talk about Blood Hunt. All right, so the book starts off with I'm trying to think, what is that? I can't read that. Death Day, Sun Death. Okay.
Sun Death, yeah.
Sun Death. So the thing is, I'm gonna show this picture. Okay, so they call it's T minus Sun Death before they block out the sun. So all of these people right here, you got Cloak, you got some other people, Blackout, all these people like that. They all have one thing in common. They use Dark Force magic. So they all like exploded or some shit at the same time. And when they did that, it blocked out the sun. They used Dark Force energy is basically blocking out the sun. So that's when Scarlet Witch is there. It's just like, hey, Tony, somebody blocked out the sun. Like, who blocked out the sun? A bunch of Dark Force users. So there's realized that somebody is using all the people that use Dark Force energy to block out the sun. And basically Tony asking Scarlet Witch, well, can you undo it? You're like, yeah, I can undo it. And then after that, you want me to punch out before or after I punch out Galactus? You're like, okay, you ain't got to be an asshole about it. You know, well, why don't you do something about it in your iron suit? We're like, well, I do science. I don't do magic shit. That's your department. So basically it's happening all over the world. Everybody uses Dark Force magic going crazy. And that's when you got not Moon Knight, but Hunter's Moon. Apparently, in the Moon Knight book, they killed Moon Knight, I guess. So he's the new Moon Knight, but he's not Moon Knight. He's Night Moon.
I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and his sexy tiger chick sidekick girlfriend, whatever. She's an Avenger. So whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. She's there. And she's basically telling the Avengers, hey, crazy shit's going on, Dark Force, whatever, like that. Oh, and vampires show up. So yeah. So, and their vampires are all over the blood hunt. That's just the intro.
Yeah, it's not a zombie apocalypse, it's a vampire apocalypse.
A vampire apocalypse, and they're just going nuts, they're going crazy, and they're attacking every city. They're everywhere. Russia, Africa, doesn't matter. Scotland, they're everywhere. And that's when, you know, the Avengers are kind of like getting together. Oh, and these guys, I think I spoiled already, but anyway, these guys are running away from vampires, and they run to this border. They were like, we can't cross that border. If we don't, we'll die. If we do, we'll die. So they cross the border, and so they cross the border, the vampires burn up. Boom, instantly. Even though there's no sun, they burn up. So where did they run to? Latveria, right into Dr. Doom's country. And basically say, okay, since you crossed the border, you are citizens of my country now. We'll protect you. But being a member of Latveria, you know, they got to do stuff to be there. Oh, and Miles Morales has a sword now. I don't read that book. I should, but yeah. And he's chopping up vampires and shit. And basically asks, what will Blade do? And who shows up? Ding, ding, ding,
Blade,
ding, ding, ding.
Blade.
The coolest dude in Marvel. Blade shows up. He basically telling them what we need to do. We need to get the team together. We need to call up everybody. We need to do this. We need to do that. Meanwhile, the Avengers all over the place. A minute after sudden death, fucking up, and basically Carol Danvers, you know, Captain Marvel, like, T'Challa, you're the smart one. What are we fighting? So I'm like, I don't know. And then Avengers is like, hey, walking Siri over here. You can ask me. Like, okay, what are we fighting? I don't know. You know, so they're just fighting everybody. Falcon, Captain, whatever you want to do, fucking up shit. And then it's with the phone call from Blade. Blade is riding in a van, telling everybody, look, we need to get everybody together. Go to the Impossible City. The Impossible City I talked about in the last our last podcast. They're saying, teleport me and this van to this possible city right now. I got a plan how to stop these guys. So he's like, okay, cool. So and he's talking to Tony, because basically saying, like, even though whoever's doing this, it's not Dracula, because Dracula, this is too big of a scale for Dracula. Dracula doesn't do invasions. So Tony's on Impossible City right now, teleports all the Avengers back to the Impossible City. They're like, hey, what you doing, man? We were fighting vampires. Like, no, we got better shit to do. We need to get a plan together to find this out. And I'm about to teleport Blade up. So he teleports the van up, and who stops out the van? Not Blade. A bunch of super vampires. They call themselves, what do they call themselves? The Blood Coven? The Blood Coven?
Something.
Yeah, something like that. The Blood Coven. So they're like the Avengers version of vampires.
Yeah.
Super vampires.
Or Marvel zombies.
Or Marvel zombies, yeah. So they got all these superpowers. This one dude like takes a smoke break and turns into a super vampire, and then they just start fucking the Avengers. So basically, what they do is that they're not attacking their bodies; they're attacking their souls. That's how they're able to cut through it, because they're not cutting his body; they're cutting his soul. You know, they fuck everybody up. They're killing everybody. It's left, right. Vision gets stabbed. Even though Vision is intangible, they still were able to stab Vision, because that's how cold these dudes are. Iron Man is wearing his Mysterian armor that can stop anything, and they just destroy that shit easily, like nothing. So basically, the Avengers are they punch out Captain Marvel, knock her out, and then basically T'Challa has a plan. They're like, before they can do that, T'Challa has a plan. He's like, okay, teleport the city out of here, because the city can teleport. So the city is getting so fucked up, it can't do it. It's not strong to do it. So like, okay, well, if you can't teleport alien, they stab through the head. So Avengers dead, supposedly. And basically it's like, okay, if you can't teleport the city out of here, teleport Captain America out of here. So, and they teleport Sam. Oh, and T'Challa dies too. So yeah. So why teleport Captain America out of here? Because the world needs a symbol. They can't have our symbol. And yeah, that's it. So they get fucked up. Meanwhile, at the Sanctum Sanctorium, you got Doctor Strange and his wife Clea. She was played by Charlize Theron in the movie, for those that don't know. And basically he's looking for a cure to kill vampires, like to just wipe them off the face of the earth. Just, if I find this cure, we'll just be all together, no more vampires. That's the thing. And that's when Blade shows up, we're like, well, if you do that, then I won't be here. We're like, well, I'm a surgeon, Blade. And remember, doctor's in my name. And what I'm trying to do is that if I have to cut off the limb to save the body, that's what we do. And Blade is basically telling him, look, we're dealing with something more powerful than we've ever fought before, because this is the Blood Coven. And they basically, the plan was to kill all the Dark Force users, block out the sun, and all the vampires across the planet were going to attack at the same time. Since Dracula didn't do this, so somebody bigger than Dracula. Oh, and they have their own Super Avengers vampire team, the Blood Pack or whatever they call it, and they've already taken out the Avengers. Like the Avengers are already done. And like, well, Blade, how do you know this? Funny you should ask. And that's when you get the panel at the very end. And does he have the dark hole? I can't remember if he has the dark hole or not. Probably not. He just read the book. Anyway, here's the special ending. Bam! Blade bites Doctor Strange. Why? Because he is in charge of the invasion. Dun, dun, dun.
The plot thickens.
The plot thickens. The thing is, now the book kind of played his hand because when Blade said, bring me up, like bring the van up, and he wasn't in the van, I like, are they saying Blade's a bad guy? Okay, let's keep reading to see what happens. So yeah. So that's the book. That's this big giant crossover event right now. Attack of the Vampires, starring Blade. So I don't
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. Here's the thing. I'll be completely transparent, Eli. I don't give a shit about vampires. I just don't. I kind of don't. Not especially not Marvel vampires. I don't. So having a whole book about vampires and then super vampires and then they take out the Avengers, I don't know where this book is going. Because if this is a Moon Knight crossover, I don't know, man. I might be out.
I thought it was going to be a Blade-led event, so that's kind of why I was on board for this.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
It's not how you expect it, but yeah.
And I think the only thing that saved this book for me was the twist at the end that Blade kind of turned the tables on everyone.
Right.
Which I thought I didn't see coming. But yeah, I agree. This feels like Marvel Zombies only with vampires.
Right. Because I mean, even though we know he didn't kill the Avengers at the end, the Avengers gonna be vampires. Did they already spoil that in like Free Comic Book Day or some promotions like that?
I didn't. No, I don't know. But it's like no one did we like DC versus vampires?
I hated that book. Now I did like DC's. DC's was awesome.
Well, yeah, that was zombies because that was zombies.
That was just Marvel Zombies, yeah. But this, I feel like, yeah, they basically turned the Avengers into vampires. And I like.
So this is just like Marvel versus vampires.
But you know they're not gonna go that hard. At least in Marvel Zombies, they can like do wild shit because they know it's an awesome universe. So if you kill off people, who cares? This, you know, they're gonna put the toys back in the toy box at the end of the thing. So. It's just like
you know, none of these deaths are gonna stick. It's gonna be the summer blockbuster, and
right.
I mean,
Now here's my thing. Now you excited for that, but okay, so you expected a Blade event. Blade is the main bad guy of the comic. Now, if the Avengers are off the table, who is Blade going to fight?
Dracula. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, I honestly, I didn't even think about that. I was thinking Moon Knight.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
I was like, I don't want this to be a Moon Knight event. I don't want that. And I feel like that's what this is going to be.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. I mean, this didn't like do it for me like I thought. I was kind of excited for this, but then I'm like, it's.
Now, here's the reason I got excited for this, even though I'm not excited for it now. The reason I got excited for it, because Jed McKay was doing it. Like, this is the first time Jed McKay got his own crossover event. Because you know how Marvel do. Marvel, like, if you're a writer and you get your name built up, then they give you a crossover. Okay, here you go. Here's a crossover. Give us something, you know. And I'm thinking, okay, let's see what you get. Because he had been turning out some good stuff. He's like Marvel's secret weapon. He's been turning out some good stuff lately. Even Moon Knight. I know you're not touching Moon Knight, Eli, but even his Moon Knight is pretty good. So I'm thinking, like, okay, what are you going to do at the gate with the first event? And he gives us Vampire Invasion. Like,
it's like I said, it's vampires like are kind of like intelligent. But then here's the thing. I felt Marvel Zombies were more like vampires because they had intelligence.
Right.
Like zombies are mindless
vampires,
ghoul,
zombies, they're kind of,
they're both undead. They're both undead, but zombies are just like undead flesh eaters, mindless flesh eaters. Where vampires have intelligence and wit, and can like strategize. So, and I feel like this is turning vampires into zombies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
When have we ever seen any movie with a vampire invasion? Vampires usually like in the shadows, lurking. They're there.
Yeah.
They don't do invasions.
Yeah, like even 30 Days of Night, which is like probably the closest thing I can think of was, they were brutal and violent and stuff, or The Strain, but there were vampires that were in charge of shit, leading shit, you know. So yeah, or what's that movie, Day Breakers or whatever, where it was a vampire society, but they had to keep some humans alive because if the vampires take over, what are they going to eat? You know, so it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah.
You know,
but here's the thing: I'm not off the train yet.
Me neither. I'm probably gonna check it out. I'll probably ride this out. I don't think I'm gonna read all the tie-ins and all that shit, but I'll read the main book. You know, and like I said, this is going to lead into, I think, the Midnight Suns. Brian Hill is writing that Midnight Suns.
So they're bringing them back.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll probably at least stick to the main book. You know. So yeah, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. But I guess there was an R-rated version of this. That was like the big.
Yeah, I didn't know about that till I listened to Gomer's podcast. So where is it?
That's the thing. And at the comic book store I went to, they were already out of that. They were all out.
They said there's some few pages in this like really gory.
Yeah, like yes, Blade chops Doctor Strange in half.
In that book? Whoa!
Yeah,
whoa!
That's the last panel of the book. You know,
shit. Okay,
yeah.
So
Yeah, because in this one we read, it's just him sticking him in the back. You know what I mean?
You see, I thought he was biting him. Oh, let me look at the last page again. Let me throw it up again. See, I thought he was biting him. That's why I thought, like, okay,
he's sticking him through he's sticking him. Yeah,
so
you saying
he went like up and
he like chopped him clear in half. Like it shows like blood and guts and entrails and shit.
Oh shit! I would have gave it a high score if I saw that. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did see some of the artwork, but I couldn't find the book. Yeah, so, yeah, but I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
We are gonna when part 2 comes out, we're hunting down the red band. We ain't reading this bullshit kitty shit. We getting the red band version.
This fluffy shit, yeah,
right.
PG-13 shit. PG-13.
Right. This
what
Sonic and Knuckles bullshit. No, we're getting the hardcore shit.
We want the director's cut. Yeah,
right.
Unrated shit. Yeah,
right. Oh shit! All right, so what you got next?
I'll do Incredible Hulk number 12.
Okay.
So this is the new arc. The mother of monsters is after the Hulk, trying to gain his powers to take over the world, and she's got all the monsters after him, and he's been running around with this like orphan girl named Charlie who has been recently trapped. Her soul has been trapped into this little doll. So in this issue, Hulk goes to find Doctor Strange. Apparently, he doesn't know Blade chopped him in half.
Right. Maybe it's before it happened.
Yeah. But he ends up at Strange Academy, which I never read the Strange Academy book. So
Strange Academy is great. It's great. It really is.
Yeah. So but anyways, he runs into a bunch of those little magic kids. So there's a little opening scene where Hulk versus the little magic kids. But then Brother Voodoo shows up.
Right.
And then turns the Hulk back into Banner.
He runs to school, right? He's like the dean or professor.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. And then he turns the Hulk, hey, what are you doing? You're making a mess. Here. He does a magic spell, turns Hulk back into Banner. Okay, what's up, man? Banner's like, oh, well, this girl I'm traveling with, her soul's trapped in this doll. Can you help me out? But it's
that kid in the face, man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I can help you, but it's gonna require some stuff, and he's got to go into the darkness and stuff like that. He tries to it's like almost like it gets really like metaphorically and shit in this book, and it's like he takes him to a dark dimension to separate the Hulk from Banner, but the Hulk seems to like break free and then grab Banner inside that dark dimension, and is like, I got you. But he's basically you're supposed to find this, I can't remember what he's called, the Flesh Weaver or something, because he's got the spell that can break her soul out of this doll. So that's what he's got to go do. Yeah, but somehow the Hulk breaks free too and like grabs Banner. Banner is in like this dark realm to go find this magic person, but then the Hulk breaks free through it. So it's almost like an astral plane thing, like they're in like another realm, So but yeah, this book is cool. Like it's the monster folk horror thing that's been going on in this Hulk book has been great. And it's still cool. So I give this a 4 out of 5. You know,
Nice,
yeah.
nice. Still going on the horror. Okay, what's the next book I read? I can't remember what I got here. I did Blood Hunt. So now we're gonna do. Yeah, I knocked this out. I'll do this one. Invincible Iron Man number. I don't know because I can't read that. I don't know. I'm gonna throw it in there. You know, okay, you got Invincible Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, and later we're gonna do Immortal Thor. I'll just go ahead and spoil it right now. Well, they love these adjectives that they have in there. Let's see, where is that Invincible Iron Man? So this is the one where Iron Man teams up with Magneto. Trying to see if I can show the actual cover of it right there. Yeah, so he teams up with Magneto to fight Iron Man Sentinels. Apparently, there's Iron Man Sentinels on the ground, Iron Man Sentinels in the air, Iron Man Sentinels over here, Iron Man Sentinels in space, Iron Man Sentinels everywhere. Everybody's fighting Iron Man Sentinels. That's what they do. So yeah, they fight Iron Man Sentinels. So yeah. So getting to it. Oh yeah, Rhodey shows up. Rhodey is in prison, and since they're finally in the end game of Orcus, Fei Long doesn't need Rhodey anymore to for leverage over Rhodey. So he sends two Orcus guards to just take him out. So Rhodey just grabs his necklace, and it turns out his necklace had PIM particles in it, which was hiding a War Machine armor, Mark I War Machine armor. So he just had it just in case Fei Long does some bullshit. So when the Orcus soldiers just unload on him, he hides behind the War Machine armor, gets to the War Machine, take these guys out. He's like, okay, I'm breaking out of prison now. So he breaks out these guys. The warden trips over him, and he said to the warden, he's like, I'm leaving out of here now, warden. And throws him down, and he flies out of there with Sandman and Living Laser because they snuck in there to protect him, so he breaks them out also. Now, why is there's not going to be any backlash and repercussions on this? Because he called She-Hulk his lawyer, and She-Hulk is going to get all legal ramifications squared away, so it's not going to be an issue. So, Rose out of jail. Cool. All right. Now, back to the Sentinel Buster that was destroyed by Fei Long, who's in there. So now you have Iron Man's two worst enemies, Fei Long and Magneto, staring at him face to face. So they can kill him right now if they wanted to. But they're like, nah, we're not going to do that. Oh, yeah. And Fei Long was like, he looks at me because Fei Long hates Magneto worse than he hates Tony Stark. He's like, you took Mars away from me, Magneto. And he looks at him like, I don't know who you are. You're like, so he's never actually even met Fei Long before, even though Fei Long hates his guts. He's like, the fuck? You don't know who I am. Anyway, so Tony tells him, look, we need to get the suit powered up. We need to destroy more Sentinel Busters. And Fei Long is basically telling him, look, well, I have all the Sentinel factories memorized locations where they are, so I know where they are. And Magneto's like, if you need to get the suit powered up, well, leave it to me. I got it powered up. So Magneto flies into the center of it and powers up the suit. And now they can fly the suit anywhere they need to. So they go there and they just start fucking up Sentinel bases left and right, And they're blasting them, getting rid of them. I'm just blasting all this shit. Finally get there. And while they're blasting them, bam, Nimrod shows up. Nimrod just smashes the Sentinel Buster, even though it's also made out of Mysterium. Also, Mysterium seems to be like fucking weak if everybody could take it out like it's no problem. So yeah. So it knocks out Mysterium. And before Iron Man can join the fight, when the Sentinel Buster hand dropped down, it crashed the railroad. So he flies down and does like that Superman one shit where he stays right there and lets the railroad go over him and like boost his own power. And while they're doing that, you got Fei Long and Nimrod facing off against each other. And Magneto's just like, oh no, go against me, because apparently his magnetism doesn't work on Nimrod, but since he got so much other metal shit, he can just throw that up. So he wraps him up, knowing it's not going to hold him. And he hits Magneto with Terrigen Mist. Now, if you don't know what Terrigen Mist is that mist that turns regular people into Inhumans. But for some reason, Marvel retconned that shit, that Terrigen Mist, even though it turns humans into Inhumans, if you hit a mutant with it, it'll kill them. So, okay. Yeah, it's their weakness. Yeah. So Iron Man shows up, gets the Terrigen Mist away from Magneto because it can just go through him. So they team up to go against Nimrod. Nimrod is ready to go. So Iron Man just gets all the Mysterium metal ready, stabs him. Don't really do shit. And since he stabbed the metal thing into him, Mysterium, Iron Man grabs the thing and puts all of his Iron Man energy into it. And normally, if it was any other robot or Sentinel, it would have took him out like it was nothing. But it doesn't do that with Nimrod because he's just that strong. So what Magneto does is take all the Mysterium left on the ground and like stabs him, but somehow like the Mysterium is enough to unravel Nimrod, and that kills him. It doesn't really kill him. He just uploads his body to another thing in the cloud, and he's like, "I'll return." So it killed that Nimrod body, but it didn't kill Nimrod. So yeah. And he punches Fei Long for all the people he killed. The end. So yeah. Now, is this the fall of X, the ending of the X? I don't know. Maybe. I think it is. I think the Iron Man part of Fall of X is done. That's it. Because I think next issue he fights War Machine. Why? I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a thing. Overall, I'm gonna give this book a 3.5 out of 5 because I think it's just tying up this X shit. There we go. Iron Man versus War Machine. So yeah. Yeah, that's all I got. So it kind of whip it out. I don't know what they're gonna do with that whole Emma Frost Iron Man thing. I hope they actually give it a conclusion and not just pretend like it didn't happen.
She gets pregnant
with Iron Man's baby and shit. So yeah, that'll be a thing. So yeah. But yeah. So what you got?
Slap a score, yo.
3.5 out of 5. I thought the Magneto Iron Man team up was going to be more epic, but it didn't give it to me. It didn't give me that wow, that was that. And they're fighting Nimrod. I thought they were going to give it to me. It didn't give it to me. I don't know. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'll do this. Blood Brothers Mother.
Blood Brothers Mother. That sounds like an insult. Like you're playing a devil. It's like a rhyme Kendrick Lamar would use against Drake.
Yeah. So this is from Distillery, that new indie comics label that like a bunch of creators are on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't, and they're not on Comixology, which is weird because
I looked for them. I couldn't find them.
I heard like one of the guys who started the company started Comixology or something. Wasn't that the thing?
Yeah, and then they kicked him off. Yeah, well, fired him
or something. But yeah, so it's weird that the guy who started Comixology, we can't find this shit.
That would it make sense that if he started Comixology, why it's not on Comixology? Because the Comixology that exists now has nothing to do with the Comixology he started.
Yeah, that is true. So, but yeah, I mean, it's got a bunch of like top tier names in the comics business, writers and artists. Yeah, Jock and Scott Snyder, James Tynion.
So basically, all the people. Cause remember, right before Comixology went through their bullshit, they were doing like a bunch of like original books where all those people you just named were doing books for Comixology.
Yeah, on Comixology. Yeah, it sounds like that. Brian Azzarello, Becky Cloonan, Ram V. They so this is their thing. Their new company.
So basically, when Amazon fired them, they went over there.
Yeah, so I haven't been able to find any of these books until I happened to go to comic book store this weekend on Free Comic Book Day, and I saw the new Distillery book, which was The Blood Brothers Mother. Brian Azzarello, I can never say his name. Brian Azzarello, and what's his name? Edwin Russo, the team on 100 Bullets, same team.
Same team. Okay.
Yeah. So this is their dark Western book. And it basically follows this guy, this outlaw gunslinger type of dude who gets out of a Mexican prison. He's paroled or whatever, and he goes to find his ex-wife, kidnaps her, shoots her husband, and leaves the kids, the three brothers, the three sons, like orphans. And it's very violent and brutal and dark and kind of twisted. But I guess this is going to follow those kids going after them. These three little kids going after to find their mom. So that's basically what happens. But it's very, the art's very gritty and dark and, very violent. It is weird because there was a twist. It's like, at first you follow this guy. He gets out of this Mexican prison. It's back in the Western days, and he joins up with this outlaw group. They go on. They find this group of settlers who are dead. Turns out these bandits kill these settlers. The guy shoots the bandits for killing the settlers. So you kind of think that this guy is like a hero or like the anti-hero. But then he goes and to this homestead, I'm going to go find my ex-wife or whatever, goes there, finds his ex-wife, they get into an argument and he goes and shoots the guy and takes her. And well, whoa, this guy's an asshole. And then these kids are like, okay, we got to go find their mom. So, and that's the end of the story, kind of brutal. And I wasn't expecting that. So I like this. However, it's a pricey book. It's like a Black Label book. It's like $8.99.
$8.99.
But it is it's in that bigger, like like the Black Label DC books were big.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like a magazine.
Well, how many pages was it?
I think normal, like maybe 40, maybe 45.
Even then.
Yeah, yeah. I'm torn. Like I really dug this, but it is expensive.
Yeah.
And and times is hard.
Right.
Like I had to drop the Conan book, because of low funds. I got to make those ends.
Yeah, you think what they would do is start. I mean, I know it's kind of just the biz model, but Bismarck, you start low and then go higher. You don't charge your first book $9,
especially when they're kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like this. Money will dictate if I continue this book. Because it's cool. It is a good book. It is really cool. Very neo anti-Western, like, gritty, brutal, like a Sergio Leone movie. Like an Eastwood flick, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars type of shit. Django, the original Django, So I liked it, but it is expensive. But I will give it a 4 out of 5. So I do recommend it. If you got the money, check this out.
And if you can find it. So,
and if you can find it. Yeah. I do recommend it.
Hell, if nothing else, you got a collector's item. So
yeah. And it's big. It's like a bigger format. So it's pretty cool.
All right. So what do we have next? What do we have next is Immortal Thor number 13, I think. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Like I said, this is immediately following after the last issue, which in between they had that Thor Roxxon special 1.
The one that I read, yeah.
The one that you read. So this is after that.
So he fights like douchebag Thor or whatever?
Yeah, so he finally fights douchebag Thor in this one. So yeah, that's what this issue is about. Even
Thor
though
versus douchebag Thor.
Yeah, even though Scourged Execution is on the cover, it'll make sense. You know what? No, it won't make sense because I've noticed something about Alex Ross. He don't give a fuck what goes on in the main comic. He just draws whatever the fuck he wants to draw. He always does that. So, but anyway, let's get to it. We still love him. Anyway,
he makes you want to open the book.
He makes you want to open like, ooh, I wonder what's going on, but then you never see that stuff in there. So so it actually picks up exactly after the book that you read, that Thor Roxxon 1, and Thor drops the book. He's like, hold up, something about this book don't make any sense. So he looks up and he sees what's the dude's name? Yeah, he just calls himself Thor. Yeah, but he's holding Mjolnir Prime. So
Roxxon Thor or whatever.
Yeah, Roxxon Thor is holding Mjolnir Prime. Guys, Roxxon running on it, and Thor's like, "What the hell going on?" And the Thor, he can't think because Enchantress is writing the story, so he's trying to fight her dialogue because everything he's saying is just like catchphrases. Basically, he sounds like MCU Thor. He sounds like an MCU character. He like, yeah, keep on thinking that. He gonna say more stupid shit as he goes along there. He like, I got gadgets, I got the Thor truck, I got Mjolnir Premium. Yeah, that's what he said. So he's got all the new toys and stuff like that. And he was like, so he's trying to fight the dialogue. He like, what do you think? And then Thor finally realizes who this guy is, like his real identity. He like, wait a minute, I know you. You're the Keep. So the Keep is who Enchantress, because Enchantress always surrounds herself with the muscle. So when Scourge died, she replaced him with the Keep, another like monster that's got super strength, so she can fight Thor and shit like that. And she realized, oh, Enchantress like, oh, Thor, you figured it out. Okay, I can't believe you figured it out. Obviously, I wrote this issue with too much parody in it. It's too much. It's too self-aware. That's how you figured out what it is. But don't worry, I'll fix that in the next issue. And she's like, okay, get this shit over with. So that's when Thor gets ready to fight Roxanne Thor, and Roxanne Thor smacks him out of there. And like I said, he's still fighting off Enchantress dialogue. He's like, oh, well, that's gonna leave a mark. And boom, well, that happened. So he's saying all this cliche shit.
Is that gonna leave a mark? Yeah.
You're right. So that's when Roxanne Thor shows up, and he's like, he's behind me, isn't he? You know. And that's when they get ready to fight, and Thor's like, nah, fuck, I'm gonna end this shit right here. So and he blasts him with an electric storm, and then it blasts so hard he's turning to turn back into the keep, because like I said, he's just a monster that Enchantress made look like Thor. She's like, oh shit, okay, he needs more magic. So what Enchantress tried to do is pick up the comic, enchant the comic with all the magic, and make the comic fly into keep. Now I don't understand all what the fuck happened. This magic bullshit. The point is it's gonna lock him in as Thor, so he'll never turn back into the keep. So, and basically she's like, well, will Thor be able to break the spell? Like, the only way Thor can break the spell is if Thor kills him. But it's Thor. Thor doesn't just kill people out of necessity. That's not Thor. So I'm not worried about that. You know, that if it was the Punisher or some bullshit, yeah, it'd be over with, but it's Thor, so we're good. And that's when Ariel Dark is like, okay, well, cool. Well, I guess you gotta, you know, bury some eggs sometime. And that's when he looks at Executioner, and Executioner lives up to his name. You're like, oh shit, you know. Meanwhile, you got Thor versus Thor. They fighting each other now, and not only that, the magic that Enchantress hit Roxanne Thor with made him even stronger also. So those electric blasts aren't going to work anymore. So she fucking him up, and that's when Thor goes, better up, because he's still fighting off the dialogue. You know? Yeah, so he smacks Roxanne Monier Premium back into Roxanne Thor, knocks him out, knocks him all the way down into the middle of the street. Boom. Next to Thor, and Thor flies down there, and he was like, no, leave me alone, Thor. And Thor is just pissed. He was like, look, you call yourself Thor, and other people than me have called themselves Thor, but you are making a mockery of all of them, not just me, all of them. So I'm gonna end this shit right here, since you want to pretend to be me, and you're nothing like me. So, and everybody's live streaming and shit like that, and that's when Enchantress doing like, okay, fine, this is exactly what I wanted, because like I said, the God's power comes from our belief in them. So she wants to, since she realized that, so she wants to get enough people in the Roxanne building, and that's enough power to shape people's belief in Thor, where she can make issue number 2. So, and you see Ariel Dogger's head chopped off. So yeah, he's done for now, I guess. I don't know. And so she turns into her alter ego, which has been the vice president of Ariel Dogger of Roxanne. He'll be saying, security, come upstairs right now. Thor just left the building, and they're going to see Ariel Dogger's dead body. So, and that's when Thor flies down, and he's like, look, I'm about to end this fight right here, because he knows the keep. He can do whatever he wants to with keep. And they're like, dang, he's going to war with this Roxanne Thor. And that's when Roxanne Thor throws Roxanne Premium at Thor, and Thor just catches it, and then he says, to me.
Wait a second. Yeah. Wait a second. There's 3 Thors now?
No. They're just 2.
But regular Thor is premium?
No. Roxanne Thor has Monier Premium.
Oh, Monier Premium. Okay.
Monier Premium. Yeah, he's got Monier Premium. So he throws Monier Premium at Thor, and Thor catches Monier Premium, and he says, to me, my Monier. And then real Monier destroys Monier Premium. So,
okay.
Yeah. So you're like, oh shit, how can you do this? I'm the canonical Thor. You know, I'm the real Thor. You're like, no, you're not the real Thor. I'm about to end this shit right here. And that's when Thor like does like the biggest lightning blast he possibly, because it's an immortal monster to keep. So like, whatever I hit him with, he'll survive. I just want to just end this fight right now. So like, get the big blast, get the biggest blast you could possibly think of, blast him in this fight. I don't be done with it. While out, I don't care, because the guy can't die anyway. So just blast him. So he blasts him with like the biggest lightning storm in the history of the world, and blasts him and kills him. And everybody, like I said, everybody's got their phone out. They're live streaming it. They're like, Thor just killed Thor on stream. And Thor's like, don't worry about it. It's cool. It's all right. It's a green monster. Don't worry about that. Once I blast him, he'll turn back to a green monster, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And plus, he'll just get up anyway, because I've hit him with stronger shit than this before, but he ain't moving. And you're like, oh shit, something ain't right. So he so he's got Monier, so he calls his other weapon, the other weapon he's been using the whole time. So he calls it to him. To me, my Turo Timrod, whatever. I don't know. So, and then he grabs it. He like, oh shit. So then the security show walks up and they see Ariel Dagger's head chopped off the body. They're like, where's the murder weapon? What happened to the murder weapon? The murder weapon is in Thor's hand. To be continued. So, okay, I'm trying to explain this shit. Okay, so I know what happened. Scourge, the executioner, axe was Thor's axe the whole time. He was using, so he chopped off Ariel Dagger's head with Thor's axe, even though it was disguised as executioner's axe the whole time. So they killed, so they're framing Thor for murder, for double murder, for killing Thor, Roxanne Thor, and Dario Egger. So yeah.
Yeah.
So how this gonna
This is like really Grant Morrissey.
Yeah, he's like really going into it. And and I flew through a lot of dialogue because they went into it like, okay, you're bogged down with continuity. You've been around for all these years, stuff like that. But I'm the new, improved, sexy Thor. I'm a reboot. I'm a fresh start. So they had that dialogue going back and forth, even though I skipped over all that. But it's there. It's in there. So yeah. Overall, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I'm liking this one. It didn't hype me up as much as last issue did, and maybe I should have read that Roxanne Premium Thor in between then. But I want to see where this goes. I want to see where this goes. See where Thor is.
This was reminding me of Donner's Superman 2.
Mm-hmm.
The whole fight in the city, like especially the batter up. What did he say? Was it Ursa grabs like the flagpole or something?
Right.
And she's got the fly and hit Superman. Was it Zod or Non was holding him?
Non throws her, and then and then knocks like a Coca-Cola thing, or
and he goes flying, and one of the people on the ground, wow, home run.
So that's funny because it's like it's almost like Al Ewing is making fun of the MCU with this run, because like everything he's saying is like he sounds like an MCU character, and Thor is like fighting himself to not sound like an MCU character. That's what's so funny about it. So yeah. So I'm enjoying this whole run. I'm enjoying this whole run right now. So yeah. So what you got next?
Well, I'm pretty much booked out, as far as like reviews. I mean, I got some honorable mentions, that was it. Bear Pirate Viking Queen, which is another indie book on Image. $5, but like 60 pages. So I was like, I gotta check it out. And awesome art, very weird, abstract watercolor type of art. But it follows this pirate who's like just an asshole, fucking, raping and pillaging all over the seas. And then he happens upon a Viking ship with like a wizard or like a sorceress on there who, basically kills his whole crew and throws him overboard at the end.
Damn, okay.
Pretty wicked, but it's the art. The art is really cool, so that was pretty cool. I also read, speaking of pirates, the Nightwing Annual. Oh man, that was like 100 pages of the origin of the pirate chick that Nightwing had an affair with her. That got really exhausting. I didn't expect to read. It was a very long book, and it was all about her, and it was very wordy.
Yeah, pass.
So there's something else I read. Marvel book. Oh, Get Fury. Garth Ennis writing the Punisher again.
Huh. Okay.
Get Fury #1. So it takes place back in the Vietnam War, where Fury and some Hydra agents get shot down in Vietnam somewhere. But because Fury knows all these top secret, classified information, they get Frank Castle to go get him, or basically go find him and kill him. So none of his secrets get into enemy hands. So that's the premise. But that's all that happens. They basically, Fury gets shot down or whatever, gets captured, and then they get Frank to go get him. That's basically all. So not a lot happens, but it's all set up. So I might just wait for read this in trade or something, You know what I mean? Because I think it will
Yeah.
flow better. I do like Garth Ennis, especially since when he writes Garth Ennis is really good at writing like military and war stories,
Right.
and he's good at writing the Punisher, and here he is taking the Punisher back to Vietnam, and so I like how Garth Ennis's Punisher, he kind of uses the Punisher to critique military, like America's military force and military might and America's history of violence with the military and stuff like that. So I'm interested to see what he has to say now, what's going on in current times. You know, I guess that's why I picked this up. But like I said, not a lot happened. Feels like it's going to be a slow burn, and I might just rather read it in one shot. So that's why I didn't review that. But yeah, other than that, and then and then that Deadpool Wolverine, that was all right. The World War III or whatever.
Yeah, I picked it up. I was like, nah, I don't.
It was all right. Yeah. Get hyped for the movie.
I guess.
Yeah, and then other than that, and all the free comic books, that's pretty much I'm booked out. So.
Okay. Cool. Like I said, if you listen this long, definitely like, share, subscribe. Like I said, if you listen at least 30 seconds, you've helped the podcast. You have helped us into the algorithm. So yeah. Also, shout out to my boss, because my boss let me know that Google Podcasts is no longer a thing. That's not a thing anymore. I got the email, like I got the notification like about a few months ago. So I was going to prepare for that, but it slipped my mind. I was just thinking about other shit. So when he gave me that recommendation, I went ahead and moved everything to YouTube Music. So if any of you out there have YouTube Music, we're all there. It's up and running. It's up and live. You can listen to it now. This episode will also be on YouTube Music, so you can check it out there. So there you go. Just in case you need more places to listen, because we try to be as accessible to everywhere as we can. So, yeah. That being said, like I said, we're gonna come up with next week. We're gonna come up with something else. I have an idea what we're gonna talk about, but I'm not gonna spoil it right now. You will see. All I can say that it will involve the BBC. There you go.
Okay.
We're gonna go to that dude from X-Men's OnlyFans page. That's what we're gonna do. Until then, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
And you want to know who I thought won the rap beef between Kendrick and Drake? I can't forget the guy's name. Yeah, J. Cole won. There you go.